In today's video, we're going to talk very much about how you should be trying to organise your practice sessions. You're going to find this really useful so that the next time you go to the range, you're not just chaotically hitting balls randomly. Now, there are 4 things that are going to make you a successful golfer, and you want to do them in this order. The first one is contact. So you have to have a good chance of getting a good contact on the back of the golf ball each and every time to become successful. If you can do that, then the second thing would be starting direction. This means that you can start the ball in the direction where you want it to go. Third one is curvature. And then the last one is distance. So those are your order of priority, and that's how I always do it when I'm coaching. Now, what I tend to find, and this is what I found recently with a couple of students that I did video calls with, is mid to high handicap golfers generally become good at controlling their contact. But the question is how? So I had one student who was good at striking it, but he would come more this way, so he'd sort of condition himself to hit, good contact by coming over the top. And I had another student who was more sort of this way, so more standing up and finding good contact. And obviously what I try to do is to try and change those, and this is the point in terms of how you should be practicing. So rule 1 is you need good contact, okay? Rule 2 is you need to be able to control your starting direction. So for my golfer who is swinging too steep and over the top, what I tried to get him to do was get more of a feeling of shallowing the club, so dropping his arms more down and swinging more to the right of the target. So can you see this alignment stick that I have just in front of me here? So for student number 1, who was the golfer who was spinning out and coming down too steep, I just got him to get the feeling of swinging the hands more to the right of the target. See what I've done there? Try get that club head swinging way more to the right, so it encourages the club to swing much more in to out when you're doing some practice. Okay, and the reason for that is because that will sort of get rid of this reaction to want to hit the ball this way, and it will make him think more about dropping his hands down, moving more to the left. And I would say what you're trying to do inside your golf is that as long as you think a little bit about the ball flight, you'll start to make changes because it will make sense rather than just randomly doing lots of repetition. Now, for my other student, what we had to do was get rid of this getting stuck underneath it move, and we actually worked on the opposite. Okay, so we actually worked on the feeling of playing more of a fade, because what I wanted him to do is, instead of kind of going this way, I wanted him to turn through the ball like this, and I wanted him to feel like he had more of an open face and was swinging more across it, more out to in, right? So more this type of motion, and that's a much harder movement to see more curvature on the ball, more that sort of way as I do it slowly. And the point that I'm trying to make is you'll make swing alterations if it makes sense, okay? So what you've got to be careful of is just making a swing change and just trying to get into certain positions. Although that might make sense, if you're not really thinking about how you're trying to change the golf ball, it's very unlikely that your swing changes will stick, okay? So if you're somebody who is working on something and you're just trying to work on it randomly through YouTube, potentially you might stumble across good feelings, but what I would do is just ask yourself those questions. Is your contact good? Can you control your starting direction? How's your curvature? And then last of all, how's your distance? And work on your swing in that order of priority. And that's why everyone's very sort of different, and that's why sometimes certain swing lessons probably work better for other golfers than others. But hopefully this video kind of gives you a bit of an idea of what you should really ultimately be looking to do. See you soon.